We can now add Oleksandr Usyk against Daniel Dubois in what is turning out to be a very lively August. And I'm just glad that the heavyweight division is functioning again. Even if we're not going to be getting Usyk Fury, maybe ever, that's kind of sad. But the fact the heavyweight division is going forward, some of the key players are having legitimate boxing matches, unlike some people, is a good thing. Now, we've had the first head-to-head, and Dubois, in fairness, he did look a bit nervous. Maybe he's like that naturally, as some people have said, but he said later, didn't he, I saw fear in Usyk's eyes. And some people made the funny remark that, look, mate, you just saw your own reflection in his eyes. He did look a bit jittery, didn't he? He must recognise this is a huge task. Not only that, but this is the biggest moment of my career. Even if I go on to fight for a belt somewhere, I'm not going to be fighting this undefeated, and as I still see it, pound for pound number one for the unified heavyweight champion at any other point in my career. So it's all or nothing. He has to try and harness what he said, I saw in one interview, that he's got to just attack and go for it. He's got to try and make good of that mindset and promise. Because if he tries to box Usyk at all, it's not going to happen. It is a bit of a mismatch for me on paper, because there's actually some similarities between Dubois and AJ, except Dubois isn't as quick. He isn't as dynamic. He's quite muscle-bound, and ironically, he has mental demons now because of what happened to him against Joe Joyce. He's still very much in the rebuilding process, but boom, he has to take his opportunity against Usyk because it's not going to come around again. So he's put in a difficult situation. How is he going to get anything going? He does have a long jab. I'm sure it is thudding when it lands, but how is it going to land against Usyk? Look at the difference in experience. It is crazy. Usyk hasn't had that many fights, but it's been absolutely concentrated with quality, with one world-class fight after the next. Many guys, when they were fresh, when they were good, he's just gone to their country, beaten them, repeat. His record is full of integrity. I really don't know what Dubois is going to do. Usyk isn't a small heavyweight either. He's a pretty average-sized heavyweight. He is broader than Anthony Joshua. And in 24 rounds against Anthony Joshua, his knees didn't dip once. He is pretty robust to go along with those sweet skills. And he's got that horrible ability to just keep you engaged by just tinkering with the range. Just going in, just going out, just going in. Tony Bellew remarked about this. It exhausts you. It depletes your battery. Because he just keeps seeing what you're doing. He knows he's got the fleet feet over you. So he stresses you out. And all the time he's looking for openings. I can see him melting Dubois. And we're going to get some sort of mercy stoppage. I think the only argument you could make for Dubois winning is that somehow Usyk has aged overnight, that old chestnut. I put even less stock into the whole proverbial puncher's chance. Because the puncher's chance never happens against really well-schooled guys. They see it coming, they ride with it. And as I've already alluded to, Usyk seems robust. He'll probably take Dubois' best, shrug, carry on, and continue to make his life very horrible until the fight is over. In terms of proving anything, I don't think this fight has much merit. Usyk is expected to win, clearly. That's how I see it. And for Dubois, hopefully he doesn't take too much damage so that if the opportunity comes to grab a title from a paper champion, he's able to do that to the best of his ability and corner his own little moment of glory. Good, though, that one of the major players is fighting at least against somebody in his own goddamn sport. There are so many problems with boxing now. We've had YouTubers and other stuff. These crossover fights don't help. We know what we're talking about here. Boxing needs to have a driving force behind it beyond money, which helps it function. Otherwise, we're just playing at this sport and it's rotting. Boxing will never die. You hear people talk about boxing dying. This is actually still a very good year. But boxing is always at its best when the heavyweight division shines. Every other division takes on that sunlight. And these guys need to be held to account more. We need to just ignore stuff that is trivial. You need to use your brain. These guys should be fighting at least twice a year. Now, the window to make these fights is ever narrowing. In fairness, a lot of them are probably past their sell-by date. Even Usyk, when you look at his age, we really needed the Fury fight this year. He's turning 37 next January. And his style, depending on the reflexes, being fleet of foot, that is not as forgiving when you age. Those things go first, no matter how well you preserve yourself. So that puts even more emphasis on just ignoring the bullshit, the cross-sport stuff. It's an insult to your intelligence if you buy into it. You can't treat it like a movie. Watching boxing events isn't just like, oh yeah, I'll just check this out. No, because it's going to degrade the sport. Continually. It'll never die, but it will continue to get worse and worse. People will just see it as a business venture, and there will be no driving force behind boxing of wanting to see quality, of wanting divisions to just actually work. But despite my rant, which probably won't reach the people that matter, that being the people who blindly just go to stuff and just say yes, 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 what do we actually think of this fight? Does Dubois have any chance at all? I think I'm really asking everybody what kind of manner of defeat it is going to happen to Daniel Dubois. What round do you think he's going in, or do you actually see him go in the distance?